You wanted the best. You've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. Chris Voss here from the ChrisVossShow.com, the ChrisVossShow.com. Welcome to the show. We certainly appreciate you guys being here. Oh, my God, it's another show. Why are we still doing this after 13 years? We turned 13 on September 1st, and we decided to do like at least 5 more episodes, or I don't know, whatever. How many days it's been? So welcome to the show. We certainly appreciate you guys. And the only reason we keep doing shows is because you guys keep referring the show to your friends, neighbors, and relatives. You guys are blowing my mind in the last month, where we're up 30% in 1 month. And I'm just like, seriously, we're going to do millions of downloads, more than we did yet last year, but we're doing more now. Okay, well, thanks, which is pretty good because we seem to double and triple every year. Thank you for coming by the show. Go to youtube.com/Chris Voss, goodreads.com/Chris Voss, all of our groups on Facebook, LinkedIn. Subscribe to the big LinkedIn group over there and the LinkedIn newsletter as well that goes out. That's always fun. Today, we have an amazing entrepreneur. She's a serial entrepreneur from multiple facets of life and real estate. We're going to be talking to her and her experience, outlook, and what she does and how she does it. Amy Ransdell is on the show with us today. She's going to be talking about her company. She is a master coach, CEO, founder of Rules Rewritten, Rebellious, and Rebel Code. She's the tenacious rebel heart behind the Rules Rewritten. Amy is dedicated to radically optimize performance by helping people defy limitations and redefine the rules so that they reach indomitable heights. Did I say indomitable right? I don't know. I might have flunked elementary school. Indomitable. I need to put that word in my vocabulary. I think that's what we're going to call the show from here on out. The indomitable Chris Voss Show. I love it. Am I pronouncing that right, Amy?
Yes.
God, I like that word. That's a new word for the Chris Voss Show.
Right.
Heights in business and life. And she's going to be telling us how she does it. She's a master peak performance and development coach. She's worked with thousands of coaching clients over 20 years, helping them craft daring and extraordinary lives. This is going to be a great interview, I can tell. Her clients include Inc. 100 executives, highly successful entrepreneurs, leaders, investors, athletes, and influencers. And what do you know? She's live here on the show. Amy, welcome to the show.
Yes. Hi. I am so glad to be here. Thank you. I'm honored. This is super awesome. 13 years, by the way. Congrats. It's amazing.
Thank you very much. My back hurts and I can't feel my legs. So give us your .com so we can find out more about you.
Yeah, absolutely. So we just launched a new site. They're still putting a lot of content on there. We go to rulesrewritten.com. It's designed for that rebel personality type. Go there, have a little fun. Love to connect with you. Hit the one-on-one forum if you want to have a little more deep dive with one of our team.
There you go. And is that I know you do multiple things. Let's talk about all the things you do. There's a lot going on with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm in the Atlanta market. So if a lot of people want to get to know me personally, we have a brick and mortar location in the greater Atlanta area. But I have been a real estate entrepreneur for over 20 years. Before that, corporately, a training and development professional. I worked with business sales executives to help them sell better and specialized in the side of training and performance. And so really, I was all about coaching the performer. And so that's always been the vein of everything I've done. And so we brought that into real estate. So I'm an investor. We've run large volume investment teams. I'm a broker, a licensed broker as well. And so we've run all types of iterations of brokerage and high volume sales teams. And I'm also the CMO of an international real estate virtual assistant provider called Riva Global. So we're all kinds of places. And I keep my fingers dabbled in companies that synergistically work with all of that, if that makes sense. So
there you go. What made you become an entrepreneur? What got you starting your own companies and doing your own businesses and stuff?
And I bet some of your audience can completely relate with this, right? Even if you don't know me, we probably have something in common, that we're that type of personality type that's like, you know what, you can't put me in a box. right? I'm just, the status quo doesn't work for me. I'm going to have to go create my own thing. So I was a rebel coming out of the womb. Like that was just my personality. So, I was that kid in the basement, like crafting my own stuff I'm going to sell on the play yard. Like that was me. So I went the college route, like a lot of people were supposed to do, those expectations that we have. But all of that time, I just knew there was something else I needed to do. And I wanted the freedom that I, at the time, perceived came with being entrepreneurial. So I just, itched that way. But as far as some of the things that I've done, I'll be honest, not always the most intentional choices, sometimes accidental, and realized when measuring it, did it fit or not fit in alignment with who I was? And would it move the needle forward towards my life vision? And so that therefore other things have come into my world. I didn't really set out when I was a kid to be a virtual assistant CMO. However, it was the right fit at the right time. And it's been quite lucrative and a good thing. So that's why I tell people, follow the path that fits you. And that's kind of what you're looking at with me.
So when did you start your first company, and what got you into the field that you first entered?
So training and development actually was a personal passion and pursuit due to my own issues. Like, I'll just be honest. I was a messed up kid, had a lot of trauma and unexplained, unresolved background that just had screwed me up. And so I was, but I was a smart kid. I'll take that tag for a minute. And so my conscious mind knew, like, something is wrong and something has to be better than this, right? And then the other part of my body and my brain were just doing the stupidest things. And so I was like, okay, I have to figure out what's going on with me. So that started this just passionate obsession, if you will, in all things having to do with the mind and the human body and that neurobiochemical connection, and how we're able to learn and how we're able to change our strategies and our programs, basically rewrite the rules that we were given in life so we can go do the big things we want to do without limitations. Mm-hmm. So I started that passion in high school and college. Like, I just to personally solve my own challenges. And that's never left. So all these years, I'll be honest about, like, my love and passion for all these other things I do are not the things themselves. It's the human beings that we get to work with to help them perform optimally while doing these other things, whether it's real estate or selling tires. I don't really care what the widget is. It's about the performer, right? So that's just it. It was a passionate pursuit for my own healing. And then that led to just an acre of diamonds as far as resources and people I've been able to connect with and learn from over the years. So
it seems like you really are passionate about helping other people and inspiring other people. Is that correct?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. That's my driver. I always say I'm a badass go-giver. That's my love, is helping people live the lives that they were designed for. This is a personal belief. It doesn't mean everybody that's listening believes this. I have a personal belief that we were created to live this powerful life. Like, the moment that we're born, we have the whole world in front of us. Like, the world's our oyster, right? And the unfortunate thing is that a lot of things shift us in different directions over life. And so many people end up getting to the end of their life and realizing they didn't live the life they could have, or that they settled for less than what they wanted. And my goal is to help no one settle. Right. I want no one to settle for less than the life that they deserve and are worthy of and want to design for themselves. And so that's my driver. So.
And you've helped a lot of people do that. You've helped executives and everything else. Is it with the rulesrewritten.com and what you're achieving there? I see different things. Let's talk about what you guys are doing there. It looks like there's some events that you're doing. Let's talk about that.
So we have we have performance coaching, and in our performance coaching, we have both those that work with us in a continuity as well as those that do what we call a neuro reset, which is a super intensive process to help people completely neurologically shift the programming of their entire life in a short period of time. And then on the side, we also, and I can't say side because it's less important, not sub to the other, but we also offer workshops. So we have 3 signature workshops that we do. One is called the Empowered Communicator, which is basically a sales training, if you will, but it's all things having to do with mindset and identity, all the way through to strategic kind of ninja tactics, if you will, as to how to have greater influence when you're speaking and selling. We have a marketing academy we call R to the 10th, which is results to the 10th power. And then we have a limitless badass experience, which is a mental toughness and leadership event. So those workshops generally are where a lot of people meet me, and then they end up working with us in a coaching capacity.
That's pretty awesome. Let's talk about the performance coaching that you do. It looks like there's several different packages you have there or programs.
We do, yeah. So almost all of our clients come in and they're what we call a Q5 client. We believe you win in the fifth quarter, right? So 4 quarters in a game, but not really. It's the fifth quarter that's happening throughout the game, which is you in your own head, right? So we help our top 1% performers. Really, that rebel archetype is the rebel like you and I, right? That's who we work with most of the time. So they're already crushing it, right? They're already maybe at 6 figures a year, maybe 7 figures or more per year, and they're ready to go to the next level of whatever it is they're doing as an executive or business owner. And so most of them are crushing it. But in order to go to the next level, that cliche line, which is absolutely true, that what's got you to where you are won't get you to where you want to go next, right? So we got to come in and do that work to figure out what might be inhibiting the next level and or draining you of energy and focus that you absolutely need to be in what we call flow state. So you can go and really jump into that next level optimally in all areas of your life too. I don't just mean business, right? Your personal life, your health, your fitness, your marriage, your relationships, like all of it. It all has to be in alignment with what's ontological for you. And so we do that work with those clients. They work with us for about 12 months. And at some point within the first 60 days, they come to do that neuro reset. And that's our primary. Yeah.
And it gets everybody kind of resets your when you say neuro reset, what does that refer to?
Absolutely. So that's a reprogramming of everything that they've carried their entire life, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So if you could imagine somewhere throughout your life, your unconscious mind creates meanings for you that are your response to events that happen to you. Even if they're not real, the mind just comes up with meanings. And unfortunately, what happens is it creates a program that you follow. So if you had an event happen where maybe you failed on a business venture, and so you develop the belief, well, I'm a failure. Okay, you might go out and do lots of other things still, and you'll self-sabotage your result each time in order to prove to yourself the belief that you adopted as a program that you're a failure. Well, that's going to inhibit you if you want to go build something that's a 10-figure business, right? So we come in to unlock every one of those things. Where are they? What's hiding under the surface at the deepest roots in who you are, so that we can shift all of those programs to support the meanings that serve your goal and serve you living in ontology. So it's a pretty intense process. We let our clients know, listen, we can accomplish in 2 days what 20 years of therapy can take.
Holy crap.
Yeah,
I know some people I need to refer to you.
Yeah, far away. We love sending them out our door after they've had the experience. I have a gentleman flying in from Texas next week. He's like a little kid. He can't wait to be here. So we, really send them out the door feeling like their younger selves, like they just feel free and limitless. One of my clients is actually in the building here tonight, and he's a 34-year service professional. He was a Marine, and then he was a special agent for all those years. And he keeps telling me almost on a daily basis how calm he feels and not afraid of anything. Like he's just not afraid. Nothing makes him afraid. It's amazing. Wow. So he's made more progress in the last 30 days than he had in years.
There you go. I noticed there's a mastermind on the site too. I guess it's a group.
There is. And actually, so I'll just be like, because of the date of what we're recording this show, we have not had a mastermind meeting this year. We are unleashing, if you will, we're going to call it Unleashing the Beast, and mastermind for my rebels. So we actually call it the Rebel Syndicate. If you go to that page, you can let us know, message through the site that you're interested. It will be a super elite, super exclusive group. A lot of our Q5 clients have been asking to do this. So we're like, okay, great. Let's have a mastermind. We'll bring those people together, high-level business owners and executives. So you can imagine what you would expect. Our tagline right now is that the first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club. So it's that level of meeting, but all my guys love that. But yeah, if you're interested in getting together with high-level entrepreneurs, let us know. It will definitely be something you want to participate in a sexy, remote location. Be some powerful speakers coming in for that.
There you go. That's got to be freaking awesome. Yeah, Tyler Durden, the first rule of Fight Club is don't talk about Fight Club. Are there fights that take place during that in a basement somewhere of a bar?
You never know.
You never know.
No, I'm just saying, I'm flying on a plane tomorrow with a mastermind I'm a member of. And sometimes, we get a little like, we're in the hot seat. We push each other pretty hard. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's not a very sexy place, the basement of a bar, but I don't know. It'd be fun to go. I don't even know if that bar exists, whatever was in that movie. But anyway.
Well, but it was in his imagination, right? So, like, did it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. There's always their mob boss that comes down the stairs. So there's another section here called rebellious. And that's just a tag. Tell me about what that is.
Well, so how do I put this? I am rebellious, but let's go a step further than that.
We're getting that gist from you, Amy.
Yeah.
Seems to be a streak here going on.
It's a little bit of a streak. And so here's what I believe. I believe that everyone needs to, at some point, potentially, when they're ready, right, elevate their own rebellions. And what I mean by that is that we have stuff we have at some point to decide. We have to make that, choose your heart, right? Keep living the life the way that it's been, or do the work to have the life you really want. And oftentimes what that means is rebelling against the things, the status quo, the rules, the system you've been in, to rebel against that, to go be what you want. If you've been in a W-2 job forever and you want to be an entrepreneur, guess what? You're going to have to elevate your rebellion a little bit and be ready to rebel against the structure of a W-2 step into being an entrepreneur. Like, are you ready? All right. So I help people elevate their rebellions. That's really where that comes from. I have had to do that myself in my life, right? I had to step out and rebel against the things, elevate my own rebellion against the things that were not serving me to be a well-formed individual. So same thing for all of our clients. So that's the background.
Now it says reserve a copy. Is there a book forthcoming that you're putting out?
There is a book forthcoming, yes. So I love that you're asking me that. Everybody, coming soon is it's kind of like the wolf in sheep's clothing joke around here, but pushing me to have that done. So hopefully we'll have that done here within this calendar year, if not sooner. There's actually 3 books in the works, but one of them is definitely Rebellious, Rules Rewritten, which is really a lot around my story itself and what it means to do the work that we have to face when we choose to be able to elevate our own rebellions against what's not serving us.
It's all about rebellion and rebellion. Why is it important to rebel against the rules? What do you? How does that fit with your narrative?
I think most rebels do. So here's the thing, right? Rebels generally are the people who stood up and said, "I want to write life on my own terms." Like, you've got rules, but I want to live on my terms. Like, right? And we think about the mafia as a good example, right? The mafia decided to put Vegas out in the middle of the desert. There was a lot of rules that said you couldn't do that. And the rules included a lot of people, voices saying it's not possible. That could be a rule, right? If the whole rule says something's not possible, if you listen to that, you're obeying the rule that it's not possible, right? But these guys didn't listen to that, okay? They said, oh, no, we're going to do this anyway. And people are like, well, no one's going to work there. And no one's going to go gamble there. And no one's going to go there. Now it's one of the most, I guess, wealthiest real estate conglomerates in the world, right? So it's a beautiful place, right? And they didn't just rebel. They rewrote history. They rewrote the legislature of Nevada, right? Yeah. So that's what rebels do. Rebels rewrite history. They're always the victor. They're not the victim. And at some point or another, we all have the opportunity to stand up and choose to be that rebel too, right? So that's what it's all about. Is are you ready to stand up to have what you want versus where you are? Okay? Definitely. And if you're happy where you are, there's no right or wrong. If it's right for you, great. But if you're not happy where you are and you're choosing that every day, well, you're choosing it. So what would you rather do?
Yeah. I mean, being a rebel is really important. I grew up with in a cult, a religious cult. And, they were always telling me, hey, you got to just have faith. And I asked so many questions. And then when I grew up, there was a lot of social stuff where it was like, hey, here are the social rules. In fact, you can use the Fight Club analogy. I was growing up. My dad said, what do I do now, Dad? I go to school. What do you do now, Dad? Go to college. What do you do now, Dad? Get a job. And, you can use the Fight Club lines from the show that, sometimes you got to be a rebel. You got to break out of norms and cultural norms that say, it's amazing to me how many people they grow up and they go, what do you do? You get a job and then you work 40 hours a week. And, they get, like you mentioned earlier in the show, they get to the mid part or end of their life and they go, wait, I've been living someone else's dream. I've been living someone else's life. Yeah. I haven't questioned whether or not this is even the right thing for me. And I think that's why a lot of people end up in, a midlife crisis for a lot of reasons, where they wake up and they realize their value or the potential for their value. And they go, I've been living someone else's dream this whole time. Like,
building someone else's wealth, right? Or avoiding finding distractions and addictions and everything but what they actually want, that they really, really want, because they're too afraid to step into it, or didn't feel they were worthy, or didn't feel they were enough, or because the world said you can't. Here's their expectations. Should is an emotionally abusive word, and we get told what we should do our whole lives, right? And a lot of us kind of spinelessly move that way because that's just all we know. And by the way, I have grace for that. One of our rules are, we have 27 laws of our client-coach relationship, and one of them is I respect everyone's model of the world, and where someone is in their growth doesn't mean where someone else is in their growth. So no judgment. Some people go through their whole lives blissfully unaware that there's more than where they are, and others have that moment where they go, oh, there could be more, right? We call that, in our world, we call that falling in the pit, right? The hero's journey is when they hit the bottom of that pit, and they're like, okay, now I'm ready to get out of here. I want something better. And we're that guide to kind of help them get up out of the pit to where they want to go next.
That is awesome. That is awesome. You've got to rewrite your own rules and stuff. When we were young, we were starting our first company, me and my business partner. It wasn't my first company, but it was his. And it was the first one that we took to a multi-million-dollar status. I said to him, I says, we can do what everybody does. They go to work for corporations, because entrepreneur wasn't a big thing back in those days. I'm old. And I said, all these people, they go to work for the corporate environment. They get a golden parachute at 40 or 50, and then they go start their own companies. And I told my business partner, I got to tell you, I don't think I'm going to have the energy for this at 40 or 50. So let's just do this business now. Let's throw everything behind it. Let's make this work. And hopefully when we're 40 or 50, we'll have an empire built, and we'll do things. And the one thing I was definitely right about was it's a lot harder to do entrepreneurism at this age than it was when I was 20. But I am smarter now, so I've got a lot more under my belt. So it is a little bit easier where I can do things in my sleep that I couldn't do when I was 20 because I didn't know what I was doing. But reaching that point in your life where you go, hey, you know what? Maybe everything I've been taught and told isn't the way to do things, and maybe there's a better way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And see, you're a perfect example of just realizing the status quo didn't work for you.
Yeah, I realized that early on. I was like about 3 years old. I'm like, this is some bullshit right here going on. I don't know.
Yes, and I love, so that's one of my favorite parts about working with our clients sometimes is when they have that light bulb moment, right? And by the way, it's age indiscriminate. So, it could be my 18-year-old, it could be my 50-year-old. I just had a 65-year-old here for 3 days with me who had spent, a glorious career on Wall Street, super successful gentleman, and now he wants to be an entrepreneur. And so we're taking him through the shift, right? Because he's still kind of holding on to the old program because that's what he's known his whole career. And he's like, I can't let go of that. So we actually helped him do the release of that and step into the other. And it's so cool when he had those light bulb moments right in front of us, right? So it's age indiscriminate. I think it's so powerful if you're listening to the show and you're, listen to the show all the time. If you're one of those people sitting on that edge where you're like, it's haunting you in the back, you're like, I know there's more. I know there's something else. There's this project, there's this dream, there's this impossible, extraordinary thing I really want to go after. And I keep putting it off and saying, oh, well, one day I'll get to it when. If you've got something like that, come talk to us. Let's go get it, right? Let's go get it.
Most definitely. I love it. Being an entrepreneur is one of the most greatest things in the world. Excuse me. You're self-accountable like nothing else. It will hone you into a sharp edge like few other things. When you work for other people, and I'm not putting other people down who work for other people, but when you work for other people, you're getting that paycheck at the end of the week or the end of 2 weeks or whenever you get paid, whether or not you sometimes even work that week.
Yeah.
It's pretty much guaranteed. But when you wake up every day and go, you got to make some money. You got to get out there and work the corner.
Yeah.
You got to make some money. You have to pimp yourself, basically, as a joke there. But the paycheck isn't guaranteed. Like every morning I have to wake up and go, where's our paycheck today coming from? Because there's nothing guaranteed. If I don't do work this week, there's a good chance that there's no money coming on Friday. There's no check that's showing appearing. So it gives you this self accountability and demand, and you live 24/7 with your business, with your life, I mean, I used to dream business all the time. It was freaking crazy. And so, it just gives you, it takes something out of you or builds something out of you that is something that you can find more what's the word I'm looking for? More self-achievement, more self-fulfillment. And usually you're finding something that you're happy about, that you're passionate about, that you're living your best self.
Yes.
And you're living a life that you want to do. And usually you're making changes and affecting other people on top of everything you're doing. So you're not just, pushing around papers on your desk every day. And I don't mean to shame that in any way, shape, or form.
No.
If that's your widget, then run with it.
Well, that's just it. I'm all about ontology. I want everybody to be ontological, meaning that the truth of your being matches the way of your being. Right? And so what entrepreneurialism does allow is for people to go after the thing that is their core, who they are. Not to say that you couldn't do that in a job too. We have powerful clients who are, Inc. 100, Inc. 5,000, Inc. 1,000 executives, right? And they're crushing it, and they absolutely love what they're doing. If that's ontologically a fit for who they are, then I want them to live there optimally and enjoy that. Here's the thing about the job thing. Some people, for example, that what you described, having that check every week, if one of their human needs, because everybody's built differently, and my human needs, the 6 human needs, Abraham Maslow, right? I'm all about uncertainty more than I am certainty. That's just how I'm built. But for some people, certainty is more important to them. So having a consistent check fits with who they are, right? So we come back to that statement of ontology. Well, having a W-2 existence may be a perfect fit for someone who that's the needs that they have. That's why I say I respect everyone's model of the world. But the other side of that is something for all of the listeners to understand. That phrase about time equals money is not true, right? In my opinion, it's not. Time is more valuable than money, right? When you put yourself in a situation where you are trading your time for a money that somebody else determines, right? Understand that is a you statement to your own neurological self that you don't really believe in your own value. Because if you really believe that you're worth the amount that you're getting paid, which is probably a lot less than what you dream about, then you're telling yourself every day you're not worth what you dream about. So I always tell people, go after what's going to give you that money freedom that really matches the value of what you believe, and let's go work on what you believe that you are worth, right? Let's do that and step into it. And when you can live a life of financial freedom, which is what most entrepreneurs are wanting, we know, why do we become entrepreneurs? So we can do life on our own terms.
Exactly.
Right? We set the rules, right? I set the rules. I decide what taxes I pay. I decide how much I make. I decide when I work and when I don't work. If I want Saturdays to be on Tuesdays, Saturdays can be on Tuesdays, right? Like that's the benefit and power of being an entrepreneur, building something that matches your life vision, and especially powerful if it's in ontology for you. So that's a big part, which you shared, which is so awesome, is a big part of what we do with our clients. Like we're helping them make those decisions for themselves so they can step into them fully.
There you go. Basically the title of your website, Rules Rewritten.
Yeah.
There you go. What haven't we touched on that you guys are doing over there?
Oh, let's see.
I think we covered a whole mess of stuff. We've got your mastermind, different keynotes that you're doing, the Rebel Code, performance coaching. There's a lot of great stuff that you're doing. What's the next event that you're holding?
So we actually have a workshop coming up in October. So our Into the Third, or the Empowered Communicator, is coming up in October. I think the dates are 6th, 7th, and 8th. There is a way on the website if you're interested to hit us up. And if you hit us up, then we can also let you know about future events. So if you missed this one, it's going to be held in our brick and mortar location in Roswell, Georgia. I do have a campus here that's set up for workshops and training. That's what we use it for. That training is not always here at this location, sometimes somewhere else. So, but we'd love to have you. I love that training. It's one of my favorite because there are sales trainings all over the place, and you can pay to take those. I've sat through all of them. I've got more certifications than I need. And also, most of the time I see people take trainings like that, and then they don't have the ability to actually implement, integrate it into what they do. They get back, they're all inspired. They go to the training and then they come back and they're like, oh, I can't really do that. I don't really have the support. I don't know how. We work with the performer. So it's not just this, well, here's the things to say. No, we help the performer want to be addicted to, be ready to implement and integrate what training gives you. So you come out of it feeling empowered to go and speak better, present better, whether you're having to present to a boardroom or you're in a high level, high ticket sales position or your business to business development, like whatever that is, we want you to feel a hell of a lot more empowered stepping into those situations with confidence. Your sales, your volume will go up, your revenue will go up.
There you go. There you go. Well, it's been wonderful to have you on. Anything more we want to touch on or tease out about the new website there before we go?
No, I'm just super excited to get the word out. This is something I've been doing for over 20 years in many different forms. People have sent me referral business for years because like, she's this powerful performance coach. You should go work with her to help people have a map across. If you've watched the show Billions, I am a Wendy Rhodes. So I get little referrals like that. Like, you got to go talk to this woman. She'll change your life. And what people didn't realize is that all of those years, the big ontological goal for myself was to make this a giant brand that we could really build a massive infrastructure behind. So this is our first year doing that as an actual offering and its own fulfillment outside of just being something we did for our own organizations. So we're super excited. We love feedback. We love to have powerful, insightful conversations. So if you're a listener and you would love to just have 30 minutes of really high flame, insightful calls, call us. We'd love to talk with you.
There you go. And they can sign up on the website and enter their email address and all that good stuff.
There's a form all over the place that you can book a one-on-one results call that will come through to our team assistant and kind of filtered out to one of our master coaches. They know how to ask some really cool questions. If you want to hear questions that nobody else would ever ask you, if you want to have questions asked of you that you're probably afraid to ask yourself, that's what you're going to get from us, right?
Wow.
And the goal is for you to have a lot of insights in just 30 minutes. So go ahead and fill out that form and let's see where things go.
There you go. Well, Amy, it's been wonderful to have you on the show. Thank you for coming by.
No, thank you for having me. This is great. This is a great platform. You guys are great, and I really appreciate it.
Appreciate it too. Give us your .coms so people can have those as we go out.
Rulesrewritten.com, or go find me on Instagram. It's Amy Ransdell _coach.
There you go. Thanks so much for tuning in. We really appreciate you. As always, refer the show to your family, friends, and relatives. Go over to iTunes and give us a 5-star rating over there. That would be nice. Also, see the LinkedIn newsletter and all that good stuff. Thanks for tuning in. Be good to each other. Stay safe. And we'll see you guys